Well, howdy folks, Michael S. Robinson Sr. here, and thanks for visiting my YouTube page. Well, pull up a chair, make yourself comfortable. I'm going to tell you about my favorite Christmas gift. Well, guess what I got for Christmas? A genuine Bohemian crystal ball, and it works perfectly. Suddenly I'm seeing headlines that are still months away, and since you're my friends, I've decided to share tomorrow's news with you. Here's one. April 10th, 2021. Playboy magazine profits down. Playboy magazine has announced its worst quarter in the publication's highly successful 68-year history. First quarter losses topped at over $26 million, and Hugh Hefner, post-mortem, sent his broker in order to sell all his shares. The magazine's chief financial officer has found no difficulty in leveling the blame. I knew when it was suggested that the centerfold choice was a terrible mistake, noted CFO Ernie Canterbrook, but I am rarely involved in Playboy's day-to-day editorial decisions. As if the losses in revenue aren't enough, we now have a stack of subscribers' medical bills relating to intractable projectile vomiting sitting on my desk, and these nitwits are suing to make the magazine responsible for those costs. Personally, I say, screw them. No one forced them to read that issue. Having Sarah Sanders and Stephanie Grisham share the February centerfold was really a bad idea, noted Canterbrook, although I must say Sarah really does have a great set. Playboy would have been much wiser to run the cute little piece on the Epstein girls, but our editor wouldn't have it, said it was too classy a piece to arouse the readership. Well now, our revenues are off by a good 30%, and we're just hoping that's the end of it. In today's world, Canterbrook concluded, that was the kind of decision that sinks ships, and I have asked the board to make sure that from now on, I'm involved in any risky avant-garde proposals for future issues. And here's one from February 19th, 2022. Trump complains it's not Mar-a-Lago. On the domestic front, our Washington political specialist reports that he had a lovely visit with Donald Trump. I was pleased to see, noted Garwood Frazier, that the Donald is adjusting well to his post-White House life. He loves gardening and has remarkably transformed the facility's landscape with his hybrid Agent Orange marigolds. Oh yes, the Warren noted, they have a putrid smell, but it masks the lingering odor of his failed reign as America's only king. Because he's an ex-president, even though he went down in disgrace, the New York Department of Corrections did spring for a gold potty and faucet for his cell, and also used some of his border wall allocations for remedial reading lessons and a subscription to the New York Times. Furthermore, the DOC has made special compassionate arrangements for Trump to have visits from Ivanka and Jared, although they have privately protested over and over what they describe as boring conversation that never gets beyond the subject of me and who he's going to have whacked next. Ivanka continues to serve her time at Bedford Hills while Jared is confined at Shawagunk, where his model prisoner status has won him the title of trustee. His book, How I Was Duped by My Wife's Dad, has sold over 200 copies in its first 90 days, and he's predicting that it will be a huge success. Even better, he wistfully notes, than Donald Jr.'s Triggered. Ever since Daddy Donald's fortune was confiscated by New York State, noted Kushner, I've put my heart into my new livelihood. I'm a really good writer, and God knows I do have plenty of time, 15 years to be exact. People have asked me how I come up with such clever, creative ideas, and I have to tell them. Much of my flair for fiction is inspired by things my father-in-law said during his term in the White House. And here's one from December 19th, 2022. Headline, Mitch settles into new career. The faces of the Trump nightmare have fairly vanished from the public view, and many people are wondering what happened to the dour, turtle-faced Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. Nancy Pelosi was recently out shopping when she was greeted by an old, familiar voice. It was Mitch. With his characteristic warm sincerity, McConnell looked at her in the eyes as she pushed her shopping cart past the front entrance. "Welcome to Walmart," he chirped with a smile. "But I can guarantee that the bill will never make it to the Senate floor." After he said it, Pelosi reported, he had a confused look on his face. Do you know, he repeated, "where I live and what I'm doing here?" Pelosi admitted it was the first time she'd ever felt the slightest sympathy for the pathetic SOB. He certainly was not the man he used to be, although his new job suggested an uncharacteristic, simple honesty. I asked him on which aisle I could find the toaster ovens, and he told me that they were on number 6 with the housewares, adding, "Crooked Hillary came in just the other day and bought one of those. I'm pretty sure, though I can't actually make the allegation, she's going to use it to burn up the rest of the emails and a pair of Monica's underwear." Then, said Pelosi, a faraway look came into his eyes. The whole problem with the Trump fiasco was electing the bastard in the first place. We should have eliminated the middleman and just hired Putin instead. My advice to you, put a crystal ball on your Santa Claus wish list for next year. They are great.